Hey guys, this is Dorian Day and welcome to Massive in Depth number 10. Today we're going to be talking about Massive's modulation and macro system. Overall, the system is pretty simple, but there's a lot of options which can make things complicated. Everywhere you see a little black box near a synth parameter, you can attach some kind of modulation source. Once you attach the source, you can click the numbers and drag. This assigns the amount of modulation depth from that modulator. Now you can see that there are different colors. The color of the depth depends on the type of modulator. For blue, you have envelopes, green for LFOs, and then all of your keyboard modulation, such as key tracking and velocity, and the macros are all orange. There's one other kind of modulation source available. It's these internal envelopes. They're only on the OSC page and the LFO pages. You click the compass and drag, click and drag, and you can modulate things, but only inside of these windows. So only inside the LFO window right here, and only inside the OSC window. If I try and go outside, it doesn't work. And then there's attack and decay controls for it. So now that we've discussed the mechanics of modulation, let's discuss the macro section. In the left section, we have 4 compasses with coded letters. These stand for key tracking, velocity, aftertouch, and random. Key tracking allows you to modulate a parameter based on the pitch of the note you're playing. For example, you can make your higher notes have higher cutoff than your lower notes. So if I turn on a filter, so you can still hear some of the volume, but if I turn the key tracking off right here, you can't hear it at all. But if I click key tracking and drag to cut off, all of a sudden you can hear it again. So since Massive has key tracking automatically controlled on the cutoff, it's not a very good choice, but that's one example of things that you could do, or that you would do in like a traditional synthesizer, one that's not quite as fancy as Massive is. One thing you can do is you can use it on an LFO to control the amp or the rate, so that you can make like higher notes vibrato faster, or you can actually use it on the vibrato controls right here. Next we have velocity. This is a modulation parameter that lets you control, modulate some parameter based on the velocity of incoming MIDI notes. So either based on how hard you're pressing your MIDI keys, or how fast you're pressing your MIDI keys, or the velocities you have drawn in your DAW. Once again, you can do things like have velocity control cutoff, so the harder or faster you push, the higher the cutoff, or you can do it on pitch, or any of a number of things. Attack, so that faster hits sound more punchy. Finally, there's trigger random, which generates a new random number for every note. So you just draw it in, and it's going to choose some random point on the depth every time a MIDI note comes in. Finally, we can talk about the macro section. So there's 8 bank knobs that you can use to control any parameter, or any modulatable parameter, that is. They're pretty convenient because they let you control some range of a parameter without moving or changing the position of the knob. So if you want to make variations of your patch without messing up the original settings, you can. Or it's a convenient way to automate things with your DAW. You just set up a macro knob and automate the macro knob. Finally, there's this save button. It's for saving your controller assignments. I've never tried to use it, so I'm not sure exactly what it does. All right, that does it for Massive In Depth number 10. Thanks.